round here as the operator banning gets underway. But speaking of the Soniqs for a moment as well, as you mentioned, these are all former Pro League players. Now, this was almost jokingly referred to as the Pro League retirement home, where a lot of the players that were dropped from teams and not picked up onto new ones would end up and sort of fall, and then also become a place to be poached from frequently, where team players would kind of go on and off, like Super over to Rogue, for example, temporarily, things like that. But they finally managed to claw their way back. I don't know whether or not they're ready, is what I'm kind of worried for them against, this is essentially a top 2 team from last season.
So I'm not going to lie to you guys. A lot of people have been questioning Soniqs recently. It is something I think that they've been... well, I don't know if the questioning is what they've been struggling with as much as they have been seemingly struggling. So it is... Yeah. They're a big question mark right now. We're all just kind of wondering, do they have it? Can they make this work? Or is this going to be a stop? Yeah. That's the big question on, I think, most people's minds right now, and that's what we're looking at going into this. So, set your expectations based on that sort of thing. It could be that we have a very close match here because you look at the Soniqs roster and you see a lot of talent there. You saw a lot of people with a bunch of experience. Experience is the main thing.
It's just a mixed bag of those people, though.
Right, and we don't know if it'll work. We can guess, we can assume. I mean, we've certainly
seen them do well in Challenger League, at least.
Yeah, well, we'll find out. We'll find out in just a bit, but yeah, against DarkZero, this is, I think, a good place for them to be judged. And yeah, we did see Soniqs do well in Challenger League. Like you said, they finished second in the Season 9 Challenger League, right underneath Organized Chaos, Organized Chaos didn't make it into Pro League, so important to note. And then in the playoffs, they lost the 92 Dream Team in the finals of the playoffs, 2-1. And we'll see 92 Dream Team, who also made it into Pro League, play later today. But here and now, Soniqs have done well to get themselves to this position. They're playing against, again, one of the NA big teams, one of the the Titans of North America. We got DarkZero, who have just acquired, again, a very, I think, individually skilled player.
And does not say, though, that Jarvis was actually a pretty strong player on this team, so this actually could somehow end up hurting them if Hyper doesn't fit in.
Thank you for bringing that up again, Emzo, because I did touch on that earlier, but I didn't get to say it as much as I wanted to. I think the whole replacing Jarvis thing came out of left field for some people, and Hyper is definitely a really big acquisition, but again, the whole... It's just, it's
I guess they had to pick someone, and they'd already dropped Pojo.
Wow. So. I mean, well, okay, we'll see how it works out for DarkZero. But it's definitely going to be different how this whole thing plays out for DZ. Now, moving on. It looks like it's going to be a top floor clear here on Consulate. That makes a lot of sense. It's a shallow map for the most part. One of the more shallow maps next to Coastline, though Coastline is considered to be a little bit more well-balanced these days, in the Pro League map pool now. So yeah, you can clear out all the roamers on the top floor, then move your way down, and then start attacking the basement, which is, I believe, the first site here.
You gotta be careful. They almost lost that drone due to that breach charge. Good coordination there in terms of not blowing it early. But there we go. It's finally going to go off. And they are using that top floor control, which, as you mentioned, they could take control of and pressure the way down. But they got it fairly easily. It took about a minute, but they were completely uncontested. However, this is where they start to run into trouble. You, of course, have someone playing in the bathroom to be able to try and skip as long as possible. And they almost always have the drop hatch open to drop out. But now they're cut off as he tries to drop. Does manage to make it down, but might be too little too late. Could be finished off. No, the angle there favoring Avian, but no, the shock drone. The alley-oop there onto Hyper, so he's already proving his worth without even having to use his own gun.
Good teamwork, good call there from Nyx to allow Hyper to secure that kill. And there you go, DarkZero already with a man advantage. They're going to be able to easily open up this garage panel because there's no Kaid or Bandit, and the mute jammers that might have been placed on that wall have been dealt with. So DarkZero, with 1 minute left to attack, but have cleared out all of the potential roamers on the first and top floor. That's going to allow them a pretty easy cut off the rotation here. Mint's going to be doing that by Visa, and then a nice take in through the main garage panel. Nyx from Yellow Stairs will take down Goddess. That really shouldn't have happened. That means the Evil Eyes will be silent as the take comes out.
And we have another round here where it's Maestro and Echo together.
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often, but it is happening more frequently. These are, interestingly, the same bands, I believe, that we had in the first match. On the defense.
Oh, the difference is
no, it's the same bands as the first match. So, Nyx coming down yellow stairs, going to get another kill. Nyx absolutely on fire right now. Technically 3 if you count the Twitch drone kill, but you don't have to do that. That's, well, technically 4 for Nyx now. Super, the last one alive, is going to see the down Hot and Cold, but actually, Hotton will be retrieved, likely by Nyx. Super's going to take down Hyper, who's trying to push into security hallway, and that's not going to work out great for Hyper. And another one for Super. He's on fire right now, but he's got to find 3 more. It's not going to happen. BC shuts him down. Technically 4 there for Nyx, but 3 if you don't count the first one, thanks to that Twitch drone. And just a great execution from DarkZero is going to get them the first round.
And that's something I feel like a lot with this team, is Super alone trying to clutch at the end of a round. I feel like it's such a common occurrence for them.
I mean, he is often the last one alive, sure, but I don't know. Okay, let's break down that round. First of all, Soniqs. They had a roam, right? But where was it? In the bathroom,
they didn't
middle
reinforce
floor.
the wall.
They didn't reinforce the wall. I mean, that's gonna be really difficult for you to retreat at that point. As you saw, the wall was opened up, and as he tried to drop through the hatch, he was down by Nyx, finished off later by Hyper. So, first of all, that's your big problem for Soniqs. No roam other than that, and it's punished. Following that, Soniqs had very little control over their own garage. No Bandit, no Kayi, the mute jammers were dispatched easily if they even were placed on the wall. And then, on top of that, once the garage panel was opened, you're losing players one after another to yellow stairs.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's just problem after problem stacking up for Soniqs. And then, yeah, you're right, Super playing on Harry Potter has to try and retake against 4-5. It's not easy.
I don't think they had really intended to, I mean, obviously they never do it, on losing the Maestro so early as well. Like, losing that Maestro was part of that defense, being able to adjust those Evil Eyes, being able to kind of use that to help counter the plant. They had to rely on the Echo Drones to relay the information to Smoke to be able to try and counter their plant at all. Because like you said, they just didn't have a lot of control of Garage, and losing the Maestro early just contributed to that further. We actually will see Super on the Mozzie as well, just to mention that real quick.
Yeah, again, Mozzie, not going to be surprising, I think, after today, where we've seen him played pretty frequently over Europe and North America. And that's why, I mean, he's really good. He's really, and he catches... Listen, guys, you've got 10 drones on attack, okay? Every single drone killed is just so much information lost to the attack. And if you can steal them instead of killing them as a defender, that's huge.
And one point as well is Mozzie can end up with 3 drones, something attackers can't even end up with.
So... Mozzie very relevant in terms of information, but then apart from his information, if you strip away the pests, he's still pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they might not even end up working, but as long as he can still play after that, it's fine.
But I think it mostly comes down to the hard denial that his pests have on certain drone locations. And we saw that highlighted in the last match, especially on Clubhouse. So DarkZero has taken control of admin office. They have the sledge to counter the castle, but Soniqs are doing a much better job of contesting the top floor. However, it's a teller's defense. The fact that Soniqs have lost control of the admin office is really bad. Like, now DarkZero has full vertical control on the site. It can start opening up from above. Neptunes can only hope to try and punish this take. Hyper's going to take down Avian. He's looking for another one. Neptune's at the top of Spiral, being challenged by DarkZero. This vertical pressure already working out for DarkZero after that pick from Hyper came out. Neptunes gets punished as he drops, but he does manage to make himself scarce and get out alive. At least there's that for Soniqs.
I think that's the important thing. They really need to finish off Mint, though. He's been taking damage for a while here, and they just can't seem to finish the job. By the time they take him out, though, he's going to have used all his EMPs to good use, and that's really what they want to avoid, is making sure that he's not going to be able to use those to open things, help open things up that they need to. Plus, all the soft destruction they have with the sledge you see working there, as well as the Ash breach charges, means a lot of that destruction on the floor, and we've even seen them using the breach charges on top of that. So this floor is just getting decimated.
BC with some great vertical control here. Just playing the drop down. Nick's going to push into Visa uncontested. Hot and Cold onto Goddess, but Hyper has been downed, and Mint still on low HP means that this is definitely winnable for the Soniqs. Neptunes, if he stays alive long enough, could kill Hyper and Mint easy with an Evil Eye. We'll see. Super's going to get dispatched, so no late round clutch for him. Ghost is playing C4 from below, doing his best. Neptune's going to get lit up by Spiral, and Ghost is actually going to get a kill onto Nyx. So here we go. Soniqs, much better position now. 13 seconds left. Plant going down. We could see a C4 denial, but will we is the question. The mark's coming out, but not enough information. And Ghost just barely going to hit that C4. Hot and Cold goes down, but it won't matter. From Banana comes Mint, and down go the Soniqs. See 2 in a row for DarkZero.
Much better attempt that time. I think it would have been a lot more doable for the Soniqs had Neptunes been able to get a kill or 2 upstairs before rotating down. I think that would have been the big game changer for them in terms of at least manpower being able to work out a little bit better, because the floors were getting so opened up, so many angles pressuring downstairs, that if he'd just been able to lower the manpower upstairs, that would have been a lot less eyeballs and guns facing down through those floors. But then you had nice angles, for example, being held by Nyx, where he was able to catch Super on the rotates because, again, they had manpower to be able to watch a lot of different angles. And it just ended up working out in the end. It was unfortunate timing for Super, though. But overall, that was, I would say, somewhat, as you mentioned, a little bit better defense for Soniqs that time. They just couldn't follow through all the way. But at least that last C4 didn't go nowhere.
Yeah, Ghost managed to get a C4, but in the end, it not being relevant to the round outcome.
Yep.
And we are going to see Soniqs go back to the basement. So they tried this first round, and it was not great.
Well, they're definitely changing their lineup this time. They're still going to be using the mute for the garage door, but this time they're bringing a Valkyrie and a Vigil for the roam here. So we'll see how that works out. Hopefully they don't make the same mistake with the bathroom that we saw that first round with Avian, but now it's Ghost playing on the mute, and instead Avian's going to be playing on Castle.
I sure do hope that the Soniqs have a better better luck on the roam, at least for their sake, because, boy, was it free real estate for DarkZero early on in the round. They just cleared out the first 2 floors with relative ease. Got a free pick off of it as well. That just cannot be happening. It looks like the Soniqs are setting up much more heavily on the top floor, though. It's good to see if you're a Soniqs fan, because this is definitely what's necessary.
Yeah. I mean, Soniqs are really going to need to get some momentum up, because I feel like DarkZero are definitely swinging pretty hard. Even when they get slowed down a bit, they seem very in control, and that's something we're just not seeing a ton from the Soniqs. These walls just getting opened up with seeming no problem. They've got, of course, the Thatcher to be able to use for this. They know it's just the mute jammer. There's no bandit being played or anything else.
This is interesting. There's no roam clear coming out from DarkZero right now. It seems to be a heavy garage take. They might have droned out the roamers and said, hey, heck it, let's just hit the site. Because that seems to be the play right now for DarkZero. Hot and Cold gets a free kill onto Super as Super decides to peek outside a garage. He might have been trying to transition there, but even if it was a peek, a transition, doesn't matter. It's a kill for Hot and Cold, and DarkZero find themselves up 1 man now. Yeah,
that's Super getting caught again on a rotate. That seems to be his problem, is just getting maybe too confident on his rotates when he doesn't necessarily know he's clear to do so. But a lot of guns trained on the garage now. And like you said, without the roam clear, they don't actually have like a pinch here now. So they're very focused on this garage door. Do almost get a kill there into the security room, but fortunately lose the fight.
And Goddess, a great headshot onto Nyx. She just barely persists and will try to place from security on low HP. Hyper going to disable the Maestro Evil. Oh, could be a Twitch drone kill. And it's going to be. Hyper just needs 1 more zap, and it's going to happen. Goddess goes down. Great teamwork again between Nyx and Hyper to call out those Twitch drone kills. And it's going to be a retake into security from Avian, so somebody's playing the position that is oh so important. But he's actually going to rotate into Kitchen to try and get a better angle on the garage panel. Though this take from DarkZero is working out great so far. They don't need a roam clear. They have BC with grenades. Avian goes down, and there are no more anchors. It's a retake from Yellow Stairs from Ghost. He gets 1, but can't get another. Neptune's over by Spiral. He's going to start his way down on a lower staircase. Sees 1 by BC Stairs, but can't land the shot. Mint, the final kill. DarkZero, 3 in a row.
Looking very, very strong here. In fact, I'm surprised that was the first grenade kill for BC.
He is the grenade man. He's the grenadier. He does that. That's what he's just known for it.
Yeah. I can imagine he just practices with them in real life.
I don't think so.
Yeah, probably.
I don't think so.
You sure?
Not real grenades, at least. No.
One can hope.
I mean,
if you overcook those, you got a problem.
I don't know what the law is in Texas when it comes to grenades, but I would imagine no. Solid no.
It is Texas, though.
Grenades.
Yeah.
No.
Well, we'll have to ask them in the interview. If they make it to there.
If they make it. Console, office, meeting room. That's the top floor. Now, let's see. This is the first time that the Soniqs will be going to the top floor. they've been very uncomfortable on the basement, on the Teller's site. It's been a bad story so far for the Sonics. And DarkZero have been seemingly unfazed by anything that Sonics seem to throw. Okay. I like the way that Sonics decided to, hey, let's roam more on the basement. But then DarkZero one-upped them by saying, hey, let's just not clear the roamers and attack in through the garage. And there wasn't much of an adjustment from Sonics. And it was unfortunate last round.
It was a good read, too, because they had dedicated most of their people to clearing top floor the previous time.
Yeah, I mean, it was just, like you said, it was a read. It was an adjustment from DarkZero. That's all it was. And Sonics didn't have the answer back. So, well, maybe, hopefully if you're a Sonics fan, then this is the answer back, because maybe this is Sonic's best site that they haven't gone to yet.
Yeah, I don't think you usually choose round 4 to go to your best site.
It's possible, though. Maybe it works best against DarkZero. Who knows?
It's entirely possible.
Maybe DarkZero's take here is really bad.
Yeah, it could be that.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
But right now, it's looking like a DarkZero match.
Yeah, and we are going to get the Maestro Echo duo again. And Super, being the flex player he is, changing operators every round, is now going to be on the Bandit. Let's hope he doesn't try and Bandit trick, as we've seen sometimes how that works out for him. Oh,
where?
Game here for Neptunes. What?
And trick where?
Oh, no.
You mean like on the basement later?
Yeah. No, there's nowhere to Bandit trick.
Right. I was like, It's going to be a play of the top of yellow stairs here for Sonics, which is pretty typical. And it'll be a grenade EMP combination here. The timing has got to be perfect on this, as well as a repel here on the bathroom window. And it's actually going to be the repel that gets the kill. So you saw what happened there. EMP on the roof to get the ADSs from Jaeger. Then the grenade to follow that up to kill the Jaeger after the ADS is gone, and then the repel on the the bathroom window to get the rotation from the Jaeger, and it was the bathroom window that got the kill. Great coordination there from DarkZero. That's a very simple take on the yellow stairs, executed perfectly.
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot more teams do that, take advantage of that sort of pinch that you can get from those two, and it's just trying to safely rotate between those is not working. That is a nice pre-fire attempt there.
Yeah, perfect angle. Assuming that there's no reinforcement on the middle panel, he should be able to hit that shot if he keeps, hitting away at it.
He's looking for it, hoping for a freebie.
Not going to happen just yet. You can see just barely, I believe it's Avian, staying alive inside of Connector. An awkward angle for him, but he's persisting. And oh, there it is, the damage being done to Avian. He's on 1 bullet's worth of HP. He should be easy to dispatch by anyone at this point, and just a little bit more of a spray there from Hyper will do it. The Yokai drone does deter Hyper and force him back on yellow stairs. The shield, very interesting at the top of spiral stairs, is actually working out well for Sonics right now, allowing Goddess to persist on that location and deny a push in through yellow.
Yeah, the backpack definitely gave it away, but certainly did not lead to damage, at least. And Avian did manage to get away, but BC finishes off the Maestro.
So that long hallway position going to be finished off. Super will retake onto yellow. That's huge. A beautiful play there from Super. Will maybe allow for denial of the plant, but Mint shuts down Ghost, who is trying to retake into CEO, where the plant is going down, and it will be successful. Super unable to get the angle on the planter, and will go outside to try and deny the repel, but will be shut down by Mint thanks to that. Great job there by Nyx on the bathroom repel. Great job there to DarkZero having control of that situation. It looked a little scary for a second when Super retook onto the yellow stairs, but it just wasn't enough, and Sonics continue their down streak. DarkZero, 4 in a row.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like they're able to maintain control of anywhere that's important to the site for any length of time. Whether that be the garage, whether that be yellow stairs, whether that be the top of yellow stairs there. Just the things that seem to be their weak points, DarkZero seems to just tear apart, quickly get control of them, and then from there continue to push along with some pinches and flanks. And it just seems like desperate plays towards the ends of rounds from the Sonics. They don't seem to have just that kind of spearhead to be able to push back. They're kind of taking individual fights. They're getting picked off due to little things like angles or just smart plays from DarkZero.
To summarize your thoughts, because I agree, I would say there's not a lot of teamwork on the sides of the Sonics.
Well, what do you expect for a mixed bag team? I guess that has had people constantly rotating in and out.
I don't know. It's interesting. They're being cut apart by DarkZero.
Yeah.
So what I'm seeing right now is Sonics have faint lines of synergy and teamwork. They're trying to work together, and those faint lines are being cut by DarkZero very, very well, and it's forcing Soniqs to play isolated. And they don't know how to deal with that. They're struggling with it, that's for sure. Soniqs are getting picked off one by one, and it's causing even more problems. You know, when you get isolated, there's not a lot of refrag potential, so it's not great if you're a Soniqs fan or if you're Soniqs themselves.
Yeah.
Something that needs to be changed, but I'm not sure if it's something that could be fixed in the middle of a match like this.
You know, I mean, I don't necessarily want to call out anyone in particular, but there's not really any gunners on this team either on Soniqs. You know, I mean, there's some that can frag out occasionally, but there's no one on here that I would say you'd ever pick up as a fragger for the most part. I mean, Ghost has been known sometimes, but
I don't know if that's fair. I think that Soniqs has got, like I said, they've got a lot of experience on that roster, but
oh, absolutely,
it's just. For me, it's not necessarily about the gunners. For me, I'm worried about more of the teamwork. You know,
yeah,
and because it's not necessarily that they don't have any. For me, it's more that the fact that it takes time to build up that teamwork, time to build up that synergy. And DarkZero are chopping apart what little there is very efficiently.
Yeah,
they're isolating the Soniqs, and they're making every individual player's life hard. And then there's just not a lot of backup or not a lot of support from the rest of Soniqs, but. There's still potential for a comeback. You know, that second half could be very different for Soniqs for all we know.
It's just, hopefully for them, they're not going into that second half at match point.
That's, yeah, hopefully for them.
I'd like to see Ghost catch one of Hyper's shock drones, because they've been very effective.
Yeah, Hyper's been doing great on that Twitch, that's for sure. Something that definitely needs to be shut down, because he keeps getting these evil eyes. Uh-oh. He's going to get it, yeah, 3 zaps, true, but 1 evil eye dispatch, definitely worth.
Well, yeah, I mean, even with 2 zaps left, that's still enough to take out the other evil eye.
Yeah, on one drone, if it happens, oh boy.
Yeah.
Hyper looking for that very eventuality, it seems. And just being a little cautious with this drone. It's actually been 2 minutes here for DarkZero to get control of just admin office. Yeah,
they're definitely taking this a bit slower, a little more carefully. I think they're just having trouble getting Soniqs in positions they want to.
Wait a minute, is this gonna happen uncontested? It's happening uncontested. Nobody's fighting back against this. What? Just Soniqs? A free pick there for BC. Hyper also takes down Avian, who had been downed, I believe, by the bathroom hallway. Super going for a C4 kill, top of those Visa stairs, but it will not be successful. Good move there. Neptunes will shut down BC. Overall, an absolute mess of a round from Soniqs and an easy seize on that opportunity from DZ. Top control here for Nyx, and he doesn't even need to try. Super will shut down Hyper, but he will get turned off in turn by Mint. It's just Goddess, and all the round's over. DarkZero put another one on the board.
Definitely not looking good here for Soniqs, and I feel like as time goes on here, it's starting to talk more and more like they've already lost, and it's just getting dangerously close to it. They're already at a 5-0 position here. This is not looking great for them. However, it's their first match back in Pro League, and sometimes
first match in Pro League with this, like,
yeah,
now.
I just mean for a lot of these players.
Back, yeah, you're okay. That's true. I'm sorry, that's true. Most of these players on Soniqs have been in Pro League before.
And that's where they come from with that experience. But it's like, it just seems like you said, that coordination isn't there because they were originally with other teams.
Yeah.
They've all kind of come from different places. And it doesn't seem to have found like a total synergy yet. But like you said, though, as well, it's not just down to, you know, maybe mistakes or lack of coordination by Soniqs. It's also DarkZero playing very well right now.
Yeah, it is DarkZero playing very well. But at the same time, if your plant starts when there's 5 defenders alive, and then it's successful, that is a problem.
Yeah,
that's not good. That's very bad.
I think according to the way Siege works, that is one of the very baddest things that can happen to you. In a
baddest of the bad. Yeah, it's up there, certainly. So that's not just poor control. That's poor situational awareness on the side of Soniqs and whoever's responsible for holding them.
They've got so much intel every time. They've either got like a Maestro and an Echo, or Maestro and a Valkyrie. Sometimes they might even have drones from the Mozzie. They've got a lot of intel, but it doesn't seem like they're just using it well. It might just be that communication.
I don't know if it's communication. I don't know a single competitive player who wouldn't be screaming like they're planting main lobby if they knew about it. I'm guessing... or at least, okay, that's not true. There are competitive players who would say it in a much more controlled way. But just to make the point, that was, I'm not sure what that was. Some kind of hiccup on the side of Soniqs. They're not using their information to the best of their ability. And now they're going to go back to the basement. They've been here 2 times before. They've lost here 2 times before, as is evident by the scoreboard. So, can Soniqs win one of their defenses? Find out in the next 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Stay tuned. Yeah, we'll see. They do keep swapping roles quite a bit on the Soniqs, whereas I don't think DarkZero needs to do nearly as many role swaps.
I mean, role swaps aren't an inherently bad thing, actually.
No, I just mean that Soniqs keep trying to adjust, just hasn't hit the mark yet.
That's true. That's true. Okay, fair enough. One player inside of Kitchen, that's Neptune's, just barely dodging some bullets there from Hyper. DarkZero saw him out of control here, and an Evil Eye gone. That's a very powerful Evil Eye to dispatch there. Hyper has just been on a tear with these Twitch drones. He's also going to take down a Black Eye, so easy dispatch of the Valkyrie cam there. And he's just, oh man,
he's a beast on that thing.
He is really tearing it up on the
That's why you don't give him 10 shots anymore.
You know, a lot of people, they don't understand how much influence that Twitch drone is having on the round if you're just watching Siege Pro League for the first time, but wow. Usually they don't get away with that much, man.
Yeah.
Usually get shut down real fast.
Well, either way, so far no kills just yet. I did see a pest warning there, almost losing a drone potentially. Not sure if they did manage to get it or not, but this is still about halfway into the round. They have things open, they have angles set up, but they haven't gotten any kills yet. So the Soniqs at least staying alive this time. They don't have a ton of control over the garage, but at least the garage isn't infested just yet.
Yeah, the big thing is that they do have, I believe that's Avian playing at the pipes. That's a very powerful position. As long as he can persist there, he can deny the plants, even though the Evil Eye is gone. Neptune's going to take down Mint with a C4, but Hyper eliminates Avian. So there you go. That position I was talking about, pipes, cleared up. And that's going to allow DZ to push in and try go for a plant. Evil Eye's gone, so that will be a form of denial that's existing right now. Goddess will take down BC, but the plant still goes down. And Houghton, the last player alive on attack in a 1 versus 4. He's won these before. He could make this happen. Gets Goddess, that's one. Gets a second onto Ghost. He's only going to fight 2 more. Finds another one. And oh, Houghton so close. Super on half HP will finish him off with the C4. Oh, what a beautiful try there from Hot and Cold.
That was about as close as it gets for the Soniqs there. That was a tough spot to be in.
Super elated that Soniqs have managed to win a single round of defense. They did it! They did it, chat!
This is over for DarkZero.
We're here for history!
The start of the landslide victory. Here it is.
No comeback from DarkZero. It's not possible.
Yeah, if they just disconnected right now, no one would feel, any shame for them.
Bye-bye, DarkZero. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Well, we'll see how, like you said, the side switch could affect Soniqs here, and they could have a much stronger play on that side. They're going to be playing a little bit different lineup here. They're going to be bringing the Twitch as well, but they're going to be bringing a Dokkaebi instead of the Ashe or anything like that. Oh, no. There's a little switcheroo there. Super wants to abuse those EE1Ds, and Hot and Cold also going to be going for the 6-pick.
Yeah, so, oh boy. Remember that thing I said about the Tachanka in the line?
Yeah.
It's like Tachanka will always be bad as long as he's stationary, and Lion will always be good as long as he makes you be stationary.
I imagine that's the story of like an Aesop's Fables, Tachanka and the Lion.
Yeah, that's kind of rolls off the tongue a little bit there. I like it. But yeah, no. Yeah, Lion's still good. He's still Pro League viable. Why? Because he makes you stand still 3 different times through the round.
And that's why G2 banned him earlier.
And that's why he's been played quite a lot today.
I like the little graphic down at the bottom there. As you could tell from the colors there, DarkZero did quite well.
Pretty colors.
Yeah.
Yeah, DarkZero having a really good one. And, okay, 5-1, and I don't even think the scoreboard represents how very one-sided that 5-1 is.
Yeah. I mean, that last round was pretty close, but more so in the sense of Soniqs.
Almost lost it when they shouldn't have.
Hot and Cold just going nuts on that Thermite, just whipping around like a turret, but there was too many people to fight.
Yeah, definitely. You got to imagine if Super weren't behind, then it would have been winnable there for Houghton, but oh well. Good job to Super. You gotta give a thumbs up and an A+ there to Super for locking that round out. Seriously.
Like I said, he's always the last one left, but in this case,
you're right. Yeah. So, Soniqs going for an admin take here. It's taken them a decent amount of time, but they've managed to finally get on Repel for admin office, and they're starting to drone it out.
Yeah. We'll see if they can get the map control as quickly though once they get up there as DarkZero had done in previous rounds. But Hyper, I got to imagine, is going to make that really difficult.
Yeah, you can bet your bottom dollar there. DarkZero, they may not contest admin office itself, but Oh, you can bet they're going to test long. They'll take long desk, and they will probably hold on to meeting room for a decent amount of time.
Well, they've got 2 ACOGs because they've got the Doc and the Maestro to be able to fight that long desk.
It is interesting that they're putting hot and cold as the Valkyrie inside a meeting room. Usually you'll have like a smoke or a mute play that. You know, one of the SAS operators who can bring the shotgun, the SMG 11, because it's a very powerful kit.
Yeah, the
that
MX
location
is not a high fire rate, high damage DPS gun.
Well, it's a high fire rate, just not high damage, right?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it can be difficult to win those close. Well, not necessarily close. It's good at close range.
I don't know. I almost feel like I see more long range or medium range kills from Valkyries than close range.
It depends, right?
Yeah.
But no, it's a good gun. The point I was trying to get at is, yeah, Mint would be better in that position. They might have rotated him into that position. Looks like he's playing by connector right now, but we'll see later, I'm sure, when the take actually.
Well, he's all the way down to piano now, so.
Well, Houghton has rotated to downstairs to deny the plant from below, and a minute left for the Soniqs, and
let's see these E1D start coming out.
Yeah, probably when the take comes, but. When is the question?
Yeah, well, they're getting there, right? They've
well, they haven't peeled away much utility right now.
There's one.
Yeah, maybe just an evil eye there. And he comes out. Hyper gets hit and revives himself. He's back into it. C4 from below from Houghton, but it's way too early. I guess he's just trying to open up line of sight onto the default plant spot, but he could have saved that a little bit longer. Super will take down Nick, so it's first kill there to the Soniqs. Hyper challenging the long angle on long desk. BC from bathroom, denying the Visa stairs angle. Very well done. He will get one, but not the second. With Ghost in sight, he's going to go for a plant, but it's Mint to try and deny. Will he be successful is the question. From the balcony, you can see Neptune trying to hold down that rotation, and he will be successful and forces Mint into a bad angle. That Super wins. BC trying to retake, but it's just Hyper now as he gets shut down. The deny on the plant, but just barely. Neptunes will get that final kill on the last second of the round. The Soniqs, 2 rounds in a row, and they're still in this.
Here it is, that landslide coming.
Yeah, you were right. You predicted it.
I got to say, though, Super on the line was actually fairly effective that round. He was leading situations where he would set them up in positions where they would stop moving and think they were safe, and then the angles would work against them, and they'd get shot and almost killed in the case of Hyper, and then killed kill right after that as well on, I believe it was the second or third EE1D. So nice plays there, and I believe at least one of the kills was from him. So I gotta say, it was crucial to that round. It's not last man trying to clutch that time. We'll see Mozzie and play again here, this time from Hyper. We'll see though, if he's got to be wishing they were playing Twitch so he could steal a shock drone and use it from the defense as well. But that's not going to be the case, as we are not going to see the Twitch this round from Soniqs. We are going to see that line getting played again from Super, and then there's going to be the Dokkaebi again, just to call them up and see what's happening here in the garage. We'll see if their garage take can be as good as we saw from DarkZero most garage attack rounds.
Yeah, the thing about DarkZero is that had a lot of different strategies they were bringing onto the garage take. Like, for example, they were going for just a garage panel take, and then DarkZero also went for a full roam clear. And having that versatility is very useful, of course.
Well, I mean, the garage has been, a site you've had to deal with for since the beginning of the game. I got to imagine you're pretty well versed in attacking by now. I mean, when there was some small changes to the map a while ago, mostly was just to add the other bomb site and a few other little things. We don't have like a cafe-style rework where it's going to be significantly different.
Absolutely right. Now, actually, on that note, when you're bringing up maps and competitive play that have been around since the beginning, there are actually only 3 now.
Because Oregon's out?
Yeah, because Oregon's out. There are only 3. It's technically Bank, Clubhouse, and Consulate, and yeah, I mean, Clubhouse is a totally different map now, really. So it's, if you want to count like pure original vanilla, Bank and Consulate.
Well, then we just got to bring Plane back.
No,
that's the way forward.
No. E1D and a rush from the Soniqs, and no control of Garage from DarkZero. Ghost will take down Houghton. BC trying to fight back. He'll get one, but the plant is going down. Beautiful play from Neptunes. Will get one, but not the second. And though, fighting back from security, plant down, so it's a retake on Garage. This is very hard to pull off, and Neptune's going to continue his reign of terror up close and personal with DarkZero. He's going to keep shutting down player after another, as Nyx will take down Neptune's finally. The fuse actually planted in a really bad spot for Soniqs. This is retakeable for DarkZero. In theory, though, still very difficult, as, again, Garage plant on Consulate. Nyx going for the disable. He's going to stick it. He's almost there, actually, and he'll come off at the last second, and there you go. The Soniqs, another round and 3 in a row. What a comeback here from the Soniqs. If anything, they can say they went down fighting, but honestly, these last 3 rounds have looked really good for them.
Yeah. I mean, that was a great coordinated push in terms of, we were talking about the coordination earlier, the way they used the smokes in there for that as part of that push. They got them out just in time because Neptune's being able to push all the way up to Cafeteria and Flake Maestro. That was a big play right there that I think really slowed down their ability to fight back. There were some sloppy moves after that in terms of getting flanked from the spiral rotation as well. It wasn't the best hold afterwards, and like you said, not a great plant spot, but they had the ability, of course, to abuse both the phone calls if they had any left, as well as the EE1Ds, so they were doing a lot from far away hidden positions where they didn't have to be overexposed. They could just use their global abilities, so that was definitely an advantage for them there in terms of holding that. But like you said, it's definitely looking much better for the Soniqs here as their streak continues. They're on 3 rounds in a row now. They managed to come back super there with 9, almost breaking the double digits. He's actually higher frags than everyone on DarkZero. So despite the scoreboards not being as great for them in terms of points, he's definitely doing well in kills.
Yeah.
Those clutches are at least granting him a few kills, if nothing else.
Yeah, Soniqs starting to come back. It's great. Fantastic. You love to see it instead of it just being the blowout that I think we're shaping up to have just a few rounds prior. So the question is, will this comeback be in full swing? Will Soniqs be able to bring this into just an absolute tear and get those 5 in a row just like DarkZero did? They're looking good to do it, but it's not a sure thing.
It's where you wish you had the timeouts that you have on LAN, right? Like, oh, cool, let's call a timeout so we can stop their momentum kind of thing.
Yeah. So, Soniqs looking to take it to CEO first things first, or at least deny the rotation from CEO so they can clear out these roamers. Smart play here from Ghost to set himself up on these windows. Neptune's on the bathroom window. He's going to start opening up a lot of angles. Because of that reinforced doorway, Ghost is actually going to be able to make his way all the way into CEO. Probably not part of the actual plan. He was likely just trying to cut off rotation so they could clear out the roamers. But hey, give away control and the Soniqs will take it. Why not?
Yeah.
It's going to start opening up as well. Neptune's, with those breach charges, looks like to cut off the rotation by Z, or Zulu, or Bench, whatever you want to call it. And the roamers from DarkZero have just worked their way into admin office. They're playing very passive. Mark's coming out here. Good drone work here from the Soniqs. Lots of information. They know there are roamers by admin, but are they going to be able to clear them out effectively? Hyper setting up a murder hole here to support himself, allowing his teammate an extra line of sight for a refrag.
This is a nice bulldozery push here going across, but the question is, are they going to actually land any of these kills and clear out these roamers, or maybe even just force them to drop at this point? It just doesn't seem like they're able to get that push gun. There's the EE1D, though. I got to imagine that's going to lead to a little bit of a push here.
Well, I mean, it's a Teller's defense, I believe, and because of that, you still need to retain control of admin office, which is directly above the site, as the defense, which is the thing that Soniqs failed to do when they went here, and it's something that DarkZero is obviously aware that they need to really stick to. And, well, it's working out for DarkZero so far. They've managed to delay 2 whole minutes here from this position.
Yeah, I mean, so far they're not really getting picked off. It doesn't seem like Soniqs really have a lot of great angles to push against. They don't really know where that, but Neptune's does fine regardless.
That's 2 for Soniqs and top floor control, but at what cost? Lots of utility used there from the Soniqs, lots of time and lots of HP lost. So, DarkZero certainly not out of it, but they've lost their cameras, and with a Valkyrie in play, that's, well, not great. And it's going to be DarkZero fighting on the back foot here in the last 25 seconds of the round. Still some EE1Ds that can be used here. Just 1, actually, from Super. He's waiting for the opportune moment. And here it comes. Sonic's going to start pushing into Tellers. And DarkZero with plenty of denial from below. That's 2 for them, evening the man count out. The plant is not going down right now. Ooh, Nyx has found his way into sight. This is beautiful play from Nyx. Neptune's, though, with 1 play of his own. However, is there enough time is the question at this point. C4 denial is a failure from Mint, which means a forced retake will have to come out here from DarkZero as the plant goes down. BC a little bit late there, but Mint gets the final kill. And there you go. DarkZero break the Sonic streak and bring us to match point 6-3.
Well, it was looking good for the Soniqs there, and they actually got close to being able to make that push work. Just they were not able to keep DarkZero away from the site long enough. We just saw trade after trade once they got towards that site. I mean, the EE1D going for a push was a nice idea, but I got to imagine that telegraphed globally to all of DarkZero. Guess what they're doing right now? Because you don't use your last one like that unless you're going for the actual execute.
I mean, at this also, on top of that, 15 seconds left, right? Yeah. Like, I mean, you don't leave yourself a very big window for the execution. It was a really good effort there from Soniqs, but just not enough time, and it's due to the fact that they spent 2 minutes clearing out the top floor. Yeah. DarkZero also left it as a bit of a heck you, since they reinforced the drop down. The play there from DarkZero was to stay alive on the top floor as long as possible, but no retreat. There's no like, oh yeah, we're going to run away and play from the site. No. They were just trying to waste time, and they did that.
Yeah.
So when Soniqs had control of upstairs, it amounted to very little.
Yeah. Credit to Soniqs that they still managed to get the plant down.
Yeah. True. I mean, they did. Yeah. It just cost them a round in the end because they couldn't rotate.
Yeah, they were just trapped in there.
Good assertiveness from DarkZero to retake.
Yeah. They just still seem fairly in control that round, especially holding top floor as long as they did. And I think that confidence and playing a site that didn't seem like Soniqs were as prepared to take, the way that at least DarkZero were defending it, that seemed to make a big difference in breaking that streak that Soniqs were starting to have. Now, Soniqs last time on this garage made quite a bit of a rush push. I got to imagine that DarkZero would be a little bit better prepared for this time. So you were talking about DarkZero's flexibility on their different kinds of attacks for garage. I think we're going to have to see the same thing here from Soniqs if they want to be able to pull out of this and not go home empty-handed as they are on match point against them.
Yeah, I seriously doubt that DarkZero is going to allow a rush this time. So, since there will not be a rush from the Soniqs, what is this take going to be, and how will DarkZero hold?
They've still got the Thermite, which obviously says that they're likely to open the garage itself. However, unlike when we saw Soniqs playing on defense here, there actually is something more than a Mute Jammer to be able to hold the wall itself. They've got a Kaid as well as the Mute Jammer, so it's going to make it a little more difficult for them to actually get the wall open, because unlike DarkZero, they're not bringing a Thatcher.
Yeah, no Thatcher, questionable, especially when he's when he's been left on banned. He was banned earlier today by Evil Geniuses, and it actually was, well, a really influential ban. Always is. Very powerful operator. But not here. Soniqs going to be clearing out the top floor to start things off. Doing a decent job. Decently efficient. Like I said, 1 minute for a floor, that's fine. Time to move on. Time to start clearing out everything else. Establish that there's nobody on the middle floor, and then start hitting that site using your vertical pressure. You've got breaching charges on the Zofia, so you can open up piano and cause a lot of damage to the defense that DarkZero is putting up in the actual site itself.
And we'll see if they can start to actually crack that open, though, as they are still trying to get quite a bit of map control in minute 30, which is, I mean, normal pacing. There's nothing wrong with that as long as they're in the building. Although this is one of the few maps where we've actually seen teams win from outside, just not so much on this particular bomb site. So they're going to have to start to get a little bit more progress. However, they have control of piano. They are opening the floor. And these are the steps you need to do to actually start to put pressure on. And that's what you see there. You just got to... Oh, there we go. He landed enough of them to down him. I just don't know if they can finish the job.
They downed Houghton in the middle of the vault animation, which means that Houghton ends up on the top of the vault, and he could be saved. Hyper's also going to take down Super, which is the Lion, which means no EE1Ds will be in this round.
That's important when you're trying to go for a plant and say in front of the white van and you stop them from rotating on you.
Yeah. Very big there. Houghton gets picked up also, so he will be another gun in the defense here for DarkZero.
Albeit with not a lot of health, but...
Still.
Evil Eye has been taken down now as well, so they're getting set up for the plant at least, and still taking out cameras, it looks like. But where is the smoke coming out here? They're going to need that going to be able to get a plant down. There it is. You hear the smoke coming out.
And there's 20 seconds left. Nyx is also above. He's playing above piano. He can come down at any moment. Here comes the smoke. The gas canisters will take down Goddess. Nyx from above will eliminate Avian. And the push from behind is a Nyx from Vault Out. It's a BC to finish things up, though. It doesn't even matter that there's someone behind. DarkZero with an absolutely dominant round. So fast in the last 20 seconds, it's impossible to call. And they will win it 7-3. A little bit of a slip up there for DarkZero for a while, but still a pretty dominant match.
Definitely well played by DarkZero. You see 3 of the players in the double digits even. It was a great attempt, though, a comeback attempt from Soniqs. I mean, to be fair, they did as well as EG just did in their last matchup, so not too shabby. And this is, as you mentioned, this is kind of the Soniqs debut. So it's not the worst debut that they managed to come back as much as they did.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they definitely have some things to work on that you can see.
Yeah, I think DarkZero just looked in control for me there. There's not a whole lot else to say. The 3 rounds that Soniqs managed to win were all Hail Mary rounds for the... No, that's not true. The holdout on the garage was really good. Really good. It almost fell apart when Hot and Cold was about to clutch, but it didn't. Good job to Super there individually for making that happen. But the rest of it, that rush strategy in through the garage, not great. You can win off of that, but it's not great. Overall, the top floor defense from DarkZero being shut down. Good job to Soniqs there, cutting off a lot of those rotations and then making that execute happen onto the site. Mostly comes down to the poor control of the top of Visa stairs. But all that said, DarkZero again seemed to be in full control of that match.
Yeah, it was definitely the DarkZero we'd expect to see. I mean, sometimes they've had matches where they didn't look like they were completely there. But this is definitely one where it looks like Hyper is fitting in very well. So this bodes well for the future of DarkZero for the rest of the season in that they're not having a rough start trying to adjust and fit him in. I gotta imagine they spent a lot of time at that team house practicing. Hopefully got to move in quickly as well. And that's the thing is they have the team house. With roster changes, you have to make sure that those new players can move in and swap out with the old players quickly so they have that time together physically.
So, we have an interview, I believe, and we'll jump into that.
Just waiting on the player here.
Okay,
I think it's just taking him a second here. They're still dialing the phone. All right, well, this is definitely something that I think the Soniqs are going to have to work on in the future in terms of the coordination that we saw in the early rounds, at least on their defense. Their offense seemed a lot more coordinated, which is... I think you see the opposite sometimes with other teams where their attacks are kind of all over the place, coming from different angles. They don't necessarily have a great plan for what they see on the fly. Like, I think sometimes that's down to the IGL as well. In this case, it looked like their defenses were the more scattered ones where they're getting picked off one at a time, things like that. I mean, we were talking about how they had the intel to be able to do it. What do you really think it is at the end of the day that was letting them get picked off easy? Do you think it was just DarkZero?
I think that the whole thing comes down to teamwork. I think there's just a lot more refined teamwork on the side of DarkZero. I think that comes down to experience and grind. On the side of Soniqs, a lot of the rounds that they managed to win were, okay, so like for example, denial of the hot and cold clutch. That shouldn't have been nearly as close as it was, and that's down to poor teamwork. But it ended up being a Soniqs win.
Yeah.
Good. There was the rush in through garage, which ended up being a Soniqs win. But it's a rush. You don't need necessarily teamwork to make a rush work. It'll help, but you're basically just throwing all of your bodies all at once into the same place. So, I don't know. I think that it's something that Soniqs needs to work on. It's a little bit of synergy, and that'll come with time.
All right, well, let's talk to DarkZero and ask them some questions now and see what they think about that match. All right, looks like we've got Hyper, the newest member of the team here. How's it going? How are you fitting into DarkZero so far?
It's going well. At the start of Vegas, we had a little rough bump, but I think we finally found us.
Now, are you all moved
so
into team house there? Is that behind you?
Yeah, this is a team house. We're all here.
How long have you been able to kind of practice with the team and be prepared for this season?
We've fully been able to practice like a solid few weeks, I want to say.
Now, when you swapped in, were you taking over a lot of Jarvis's roles, or was it the case where a lot of other roles had to change to kind of fit you in?
Well, some roles changed. That's not. But I didn't exactly take what Jarvis was playing. We kind of had to move some stuff, move Mint to like more smoke role, and Nyx is just still on entry, so.
It seemed to work out pretty well for you guys. Now, were you guys very well prepared for the Soniqs, even though they were coming from Challenger League and you didn't necessarily have as much footage Pro League wise for them? Or did you guys feel very, very prepared for them, or was it just a lot of improvising on the fly?
Oh no, we were really prepared for the Soniqs. On Consulate, they gave us a lot of picks on attack fast, and that helped us with momentum on attack. On defense, they caught us off guard with the Lion, and the Lion Doke kind of affected it when we were off site roaming, and they just rushed 1 or 2 rounds.
Now
But
you
we
guys,
adapted.
I'm sorry, go ahead. You guys had a very good defense as well on the Teller site, which was the newer site to console. Obviously, it's not brand new, but do you guys feel like that's a fairly strong site if you know how to play it well?
Yeah, you kind of have to play your cards upstairs. You either die for it or just drop. And it's kind of 50-50 if they take above and just open up the site. You can't really do much from underneath. But we played it well. They pushed really late, only 40 seconds, and they misdroned. Nyx, I think, was in Teller's Hall. And you got like a 3K from there.
Well, nicely done. Is there anything you want to say to all your fans out there, both of yourself as the new member of the team and to all the fans of DarkZero?
Yeah, I'd like to thank all the fans for DarkZero. Thank you for supporting us. Hopefully we'll go a dominant run this season. And shout out to England and Suzaku.
All right, cool. Well, congrats on your first win. I imagine it might be the first of many here for this long 14 Playday season. But we'll look forward to seeing you again on Wednesday. And have a good night.
Thank you, you too.
Well, seems like a good round, round of experience for DarkZero.
Yeah.
And I think Soniqs also, they'll take a lot away from this match, I'm sure. On console, it could just be that Soniqs not very comfortable on console. We'll see, I think, in the future.
Yeah.
But overall, a great match for DarkZero specifically, and yeah.
Yeah. I got to imagine they're still going to be very strong in further matches, but of course, the longer you get, the more you've shown. So, maybe teams will adapt and they won't have strong showings in the future. But either way, we've got one more match, so we're just going to go to a quick break, and then we'll finish up tonight with what could be a very interesting one.